5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic podcast. This is going to be an awesome show. We have a new person with us on the show, Robyn Hyatt. She's going to share some information about Stargates and Skinwalker Ranch. Unmute me.
There you go.
Okay. It's not unmuting me. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just hit the subscribe button, guys. So I put a subscribe video up right now too. Just remember to subscribe on YouTube and remember to subscribe on Rumble. Remember to hit the bell so you get notifications when I'm live. And remember to hit the like button because that goes a long way on here and on Rumble. And always try to follow along on Rumble because Rumble's kind of supporting. I mean, Rumble's cares about the show right now, whereas YouTube really doesn't. They let us on here, but they don't monetize me or anything. A little bit more about my guest today. I have with me Robyn Hyatt. Robyn has been connected to the unseen world since childhood, experiencing vivid dreams of spirits who had crossed over and sought her help. By her early 20s, she was working with detectives on cold cases and missing persons, a journey that expanded nationwide. Her path took a profound turn when she encountered an apparition of a white Sasquatch named Ntil, nicknamed White Canada, who began delivering messages she would later channel and record. A Lemurian Crystal experience transported her to another time, sparking her first book called Inside the Lemurian Crystal and opening the door to further channelings. Robyn has since documented over 40 benevolent extraterrestrial species, sharing their messages of awareness and understanding for humanity. In addition to her psychic work, Robyn is a full-time medical professional, artist, writer, offering psychic readings to help heal both the living and the spirits of those who have crossed over. She also leads the Boise Enlightening Meeting Group, channeling ETs and connecting with seekers worldwide. And she has a YouTube channel, which is called Robyn Hyatt Blue Star. She has a Patreon, which is Robyn Hyatt on Patreon. And with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back, or welcome to the show for the first time. Robyn, thanks so much for coming on. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me. It's nice to be here.
Yeah. It's interesting to meet people in the community that I didn't even know about your work until I found you on Facebook, and now I'm glad I did because it's like now I met a whole new person that's like, I always like having new people on the show,
Yeah, and actually, you're close to James Rink, and I've been on his show, so we've.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So I think that's how we got connected somehow is through his Facebook page.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Do you have SSP experiences or more like just extraterrestrial?
No, I don't. I'm kind of a little bit different. I know of it and I've channeled it. And I do believe that the super soldier started as called the Red Collar Program, which I have in my first book. I probably can't even see it. And so how I got linked to James is I did a channeling for him. And it came out that somehow we knew each other. And I was more on the benevolent side, and he was more on the super soldier side. And so we were trying the group that I serve with up in the Blue Star, try to deprogram him out of the negativity of the super soldier program and bring him back to more of the human part of the program. And so it was actually a really good show. I channeled two people. I channeled a Pleiadian and I channeled Akhenaten, which came out, which was really pretty wild. And it was very, I think it was very profound and it had a lot of information and it had the history of him and I, how we met. So it was very interesting anyway. So my thing with the super soldiers is I know of them, but we try to either eradicate them or my group was trying to evolve them back into humanity. And then why are the super soldiers here on Earth? And that is a good case to delve into is because they have been reprogrammed and we need them here on Earth for their own recovery and there could be things that are happening upon this planet that we need the super soldiers, because I do believe that they'll be reactivated again, and hopefully in a good way. And so we need their strength and their expertise and their talents. And so I really feel that it's a really positive thing to have the super soldiers upon this earth now. If that makes any sense to anybody.
No, that's a really good point. I agree. And what I was going to say was, so how did this all start? How did your whole introduction into this, like, alternative media or like alternative life, like, like everybody seems to have a story, and I know I read your bio, but like, tell us a little bit about yourself and like how this all started.
So when I was younger, it was very strange. I was an adopted child. And so my parents didn't know what to do with me. I would like know when the phone was going to ring and who it was for before it would ring. When John Belushi died, I came out of my bedroom and I told my mom that I know exactly how John Belushi died. I know who was with him. I know the whole thing. And she goes, "Oh, Robyn, that was just a dream." So we turn around and go downstairs. She had the TV on, and they just announced John Belushi dying. So I kind of was freaking my adopted parents out a little bit because, I don't know. And so when in my 20s, it just got stronger, and I tried to ignore it. In my 20s, we had a girl missing, a cold case, and it happened to be kind of a devil worshiping group that was taking women. So there's more than one woman. So wow. I started having dreams of all these women were coming to me. And so I called the police and I gave them my dreams. Of course, they didn't believe me. So what was really weird, a girl I worked with, her husband's friend was working on the case as a detective. And so she talked to him, and then he came and met me. I gave him all the names of the women, and they actually happened to be all the women that have been missing. And I told them where they were and how they died, and et cetera, et cetera. So that was my first cold case. And I did a few cold cases locally, and then it just kind of expanded out somehow. Somehow it just expanded out. And I started doing all over the United States, just a little bit. I'm not like huge swami of cold cases, but I just did the ones that came to me that were very pertinent, that they wanted to be found. And so then I just did more. Then my last cold case that I chose to do was in Chicago, and it was strange. This is strange. You want me to tell you this story?
Yeah, I was going to say, can I ask you a question? When you do these cases, when you find the people, are they usually all unalive, or are they?
No, they're deceased.
That's what I mean. They're and it's usually some kind of like really traumatic act, like murder or satanic or something like that.
Yeah. It's all bad. It's all bad, and it's weird how you can step away from the scene. So how I would see it is I would see it like a movie, like I was watching a movie, but I had no emotion. I was just gathering information. Yeah. But I do believe it kind of was wearing on my health a little bit. And so I had an opportunity, and strangely enough, I had an apparition of this huge white Sasquatch come to me. And it gave me messages. That's how I started my YouTube channel. It used to be called Bigfoot Whisperers Hub. So I was more into the Bigfoot community at that time. And I just had to share what it was saying. That's all I did, was just share what it was saying. And then it's Ntil is the name of the white Canada. And just asked, the Ntil asked me, he goes, "Do you want to stay with the dead and help the dead, or do you want to help the living?" And I said, "I want to help the living." So that's when I totally switched gears and stopped working on cold cases and started helping people and channeling, strangely enough, aliens. I mean, it was just coming to me, because once you find you have something that you can gather information from, like your lightning rod, like it's coming down to you and you're getting downloads, that I wanted to know everything. I mean, just tell me everything. Give me it all, And now I can, I'm working on remote viewing more now and going on to areas. And that's what I want to talk to you about Skinwalker Ranch a little bit later or whenever. I got some really great information for that community that, because I do
It's
believe
Skinwalker Ranch. Like I was, I'm not big on TV or movies,
Mhm.
but like
I'm
I'll
not.
throw on TV every once in a while because it's funny because they have a lot of old reruns from like the '90s, early 2000s. They have
Mhm.
they have some good paranormal shows on there, and I noticed on one of the channels on there they were playing reruns of the show Skinwalker Ranch, which was just a couple years ago they had that show on.
Mhm.
Like so.
Mhm.
I was watching a little bit of it. It seems like they found something there. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, like I had someone tell, there was this guy who used to come on my show. I told someone this, his name was Michael Lynch, and he was brilliant, but he thought that there was like a Pleiadian ship under Skinwalker Ranch for some reason. I don't know.
So yes, the last season is the best season to watch, season 6, because they're acting, which is good. They're acting more like scientists now,
Yeah.
and they are actually they're actually found that there's an electric dome that goes over this one area of Walker Ranch that's like called the triangle. They call it the triangle. So there's something in the mountainside and there's something below the triangle. So there's two different things. And so the very last show, actually, I do believe they said that if they dig down into the ground, bad things happen to them. Like they get zapped with microwave, bad things happen. So, but if they stay above ground and do investigation, then things come together. And so, can I share something with you?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I kind of hand drew this. I'm an artist, but this is just very hand drawn. So in the dome, so you're going to see me drawing this dome. They shoot rockets up and they get intel from the rockets. So the rockets kind of get some data. So in one of the episodes, like this is, I don't know if you can see it with this background. So there's there's a rocket launch pad, and they took a picture of it when it went up. It's this huge rocket. So when they took the picture, there's the launch pad, but 10 feet away is the fume of the rocket. So how did the fume get 10 feet away from the launch pad? So I delved into that. And what it is I heard it was called traversement of time. So this dome is divided in time segments. And so what they were showing you, they did that on purpose. When they took the picture, here's the rocket launch pad, and then there's the fume over here. They were showing you traversement of time, that they pulled that rocket over into another dimension and shot it up, which was not seen by the human eye. So what I kind of emailed Skinwalker Ranch, and I said, do not use your eyes, use your data, because they're showing you that they can pull what you're doing into a different time zone. And also, one of the rockets, when they videotaped it, it went straight up, but with their eyes, they saw it going straight up. But when they videotaped it, the rocket went to the side and then went straight up. And what that to me means is they pulled in time traversement in the time, they pulled it over to the side into a different time zone and went straight up. So that's what the data showed. And so to me, the data is right. So basically what they're showing them is high intelligence. There is something there that's watching them. And, but when they dig, they do get radiation. And to me, there is a craft in the mountain. And they have gotten actually pieces of something that is clay that's kind of alive, but it's harder than diamond, but it's clay.
Wow.
And so, yeah. So you guys, if you watch this show, now it's getting very scientific. And I think the aliens are showing us high intelligence and how they can manipulate time. And the only thing that picks that up is the electronics that they're using.
Wow, that's fascinating. Like it's yeah, that's what do you so you think there's a craft in the mountain and maybe a craft underground, and that's, or do you
No,
think it's a base of some sort? Do you think it might be
yeah,
an alien base?
I think there's both. I think under the ground, I think there is a base, and I think there is a base that. So my theory is, I do believe that the military knows about all of this, and my theory is, since the military knew about it, why didn't they buy that land and take that craft out? And because I feel that it's such a high radiation and kind of nuclear, I think it would be very destructive to bring that craft out. I think that's why the military's left it alone, but they're watching these guys. So in my thinking is that the military made caves to go in to see the craft and not unleash it. And I do believe there's one underground. I believe there's mining there. It's a treasure trove of just all sorts of minerals and gold and irons and all sorts of things that I think that the alien species want. And I think you'll see crafts going in and out all the time. And I think it's a mining for alien conduct. My theory.
The aliens are mining something.
I think so. I think they're taking it out, and I think they're working with our military underground too.
Well, you talk about the Ural Mountains. They're
Oh
described as
yeah.
rich in alien nutrients. Like, what
Mhm.
is that? What are alien nutrients, or what do you think? Does that tie
So,
into this?
so this our world is a treasure trove for what is needed in other planetary systems. They don't grow it. I think our planet is kind of a mining planet. These species need. So in the Ural Mountains, you're speaking of that. Uranium. Uranium is in the Ural Mountains, heavy, and that's power for the alien species. Gold is conductivity. Silver is longevity, a Stargate source. So when they have a Stargate, they need the silver for it. Copper is kind of a yin yang power. Iron is an energy conductor. And then there's oil there, that's lubricator, and crystals, a lot of crystals for energy source. There's also a lot of meteorites there that filter energy, and there's also nickel that they have found there that is the same, that helps filter. Um, there is a type of crystal, and I have it, and this is called an ice crystal. And I bought this 8 years ago, and it's kind of a strange looking crystal, and
Yeah.
it is found in the Ural Mountains. I actually bought this from Russia. And then I took them off my Etsy store because I found that if they're real, they're stronger than diamonds. And they're only located over there. So I just kept them. And they have great power and meditation power. So it kind of almost looks like an ice cube. The ones that are more coveted, I had a guy email me and he says he goes, if you have some that show a rainbow inside when you put it in the sun, he said,
Yeah.
keep it. Do not get rid of that one, because the military uses these now in all sorts of facets. So I have about 5 of them. I have 2 on my Etsy store that are very small that I thought I'll sell those, but I'm going to keep the big ones and the rainbow ones for myself. So, I mean, our world is a great producer. And who's to say that this world isn't a mining planet, or was a mining planet before Adam and Eve, for all these species are here, because there's a lot of species underground.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and I wanted to, for the people real quick before we get into other stuff. Like, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about your books, because I just looked at your Amazon
Oh,
page. You've written a lot of books, right? And one's
I
called
have
Inside the Lemurian. Let me look that up here.
Inside the Lemurian Crystal.
Yeah, yeah. Is that your, yeah? Was that your first book, or
This is my first book. When I first discovered channeling, I bought 2 Lemurian crystals off of Etsy, and one had a triangle in it, And then I researched that triangle. When you receive a Lemurian crystal, it has a triangle in it, means you're a key holder. And it was by natural. I don't even think the people that sold it knew that it had this triangle, just a little triangle in it. So I put them in my hand, and then I just started speaking. And so I started recording. And so this is what that book is. It's my very first one. It's a little book. So then through about a year or so later, I met a man from my YouTube channel. And when I started doing channeling for him and doing readings for him, I found out that he's my twin. He's my twin. We knew each other before. And so he
Twin
is
flame or twin brother?
Twin brother, twin soul, twin friend, family.
Okay.
So he is almost exactly like me. A little bit better looking, but almost exactly like me. And he helps me. So he is the engineer, the smart man, and I'm the creative brainer and the channeler. So we decided to go stronger with channeling and species. And I don't know how much more time we have, but I actually had a gray.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay. I had a little. I was woken up.
We won't even go in 21 minutes. We have about 30.
Okay, because I can keep talking, so you just cut me off when you want me to stop. So I woke up one night and I had sleep paralysis, and I was facing my dresser, and there's a little gray being 3D sitting right there, and I went, okay. It really scared me. And behind the gray, I had a 8x10 frame of a picture, and I noticed in that picture, it was flashing all different species. It's going just flashing, 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 flashing. And I believe that little gray was a conductor to show me species. And I don't know how many there were. It went really fast. And it was really interesting how I thought. And how I thought was, wow, I know that species. Or, oh, I don't know that species. It was just like a natural thing. The only thing that scared me was the gray. When he looked at me, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. And he was just little. He was like only 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, typical gray. And then once, just after it was done, he vanished. Everything came back to normal. So my twin, I said, let's channel everything that I saw, and I'm going to channel every single species. So we have a 400-page book of all the species, and I channeled every single one of them, and I drew every single one of them also, so, because I'm very fervent on showing people what I see, because I can describe it to you, but I want you to see it. I'm a visual person. So I drew every single one. Here, my twin and I worked full time, and then we came home and I started channeling, and then I would draw until I had to go to bed. And so this book is so amazing. I have the Anubis race. The Anubis race is pretty interesting. And there's every race. And it's been very interesting, this book, with people that contact me. Like this one, people seem to recognize this one. And this is the Phashian race with, let's see, with large eyes. Wow. And this race actually lives in a planet, and their planet is a supply planet. So they supply all the benevolent with everything that they could ever want. So, and then she describes her planet. She describes her race. She is half Lemurian and half Phashian. They called themselves Phashian. She's a pilot also. She supplies the benevolent. She takes things to the benevolent that need it. If there's a disabled ship or anything, she takes it to them. So this book surprised me, and it just has like humanoid people, and the block. This is very interesting. I have a species that I called the Glock, and it's an information species that has a square head, and the head has its the face goes all the way around the head. So if you walk around it, the face would still be facing you and talking to you about information. And I believe every ship has a Glock on it. And it's just very interesting that Elon Musk is calling all his things are starting with GR, like Grok. Grok is one of them that I just saw on X. That is an information entity or something that he's developing now. And I go, that's so funny that he is naming that really close to, yeah, my Glocks. Here's my Glock. I don't know if you can see it. So they're just information. They're just an Android, but they're full of information. So if anything is needed on a ship and they need information about a species that's coming their way or anything like that, the Glock has all this information. So.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I just wanted to give people a shout out to your Etsy store. Like one of my Jason, my friend, he's my good friend and moderator. He put up your Etsy store. So I like while you were talking, I went and checked out your Etsy store because I always find that like you can really find some interesting stuff about people with what they're selling on Etsy because like Etsy's amazing. You know, you can find anything on Etsy and like I love your store already. I saw that you have some like really interesting like sprays on there and you know, and you're selling crystals as well and but like, do you make these sprays and stuff? And like, what is? Can you tell us this stuff?
I do. You're so nice to bring that up. Yes, I hand make every spray. I'm an artist, and I wake up with ideas and I do it. And so this spray, I have one on Amazon too called Sage on Sage. I'm a person that sages my house to clear it from negative energies, and so I can only use sprays. I can't sage because I rent and the smoke alarm will go off. So these sprays are really good. And some sprays are really good and some sprays aren't. And I hate buying a spray that's not really good. So I thought, why am I not making my own spray? So I have a guide and I asked my guide, give me the ingredients for the most powerful sage you have. So she gave me 2 sages. There's 2 different kinds of sages that are essential oil. Black licorice, which is a clearing. I never knew that. And then I have camphor oil in it, which is a healing and eradicates. So most of my sprays are for healing, for meditation, and I have my guide given me all these sources. I think we just need to go back in time a little bit because Mother Nature has given us so much. And we have forgotten to use natural things. So that's where the sprays came from. And they are awesome.
Yeah. I might buy some of that that smudge spray. Like that that's amazing. I never knew licorice could be
I didn't either.
clearing like that. You know?
Yeah. And if
that's
you research it, you'll see it. You'll see that, it eradicates negativity. Like, who knew?
That's amazing. I want to get back into some stuff. So one of the things you wanted to talk about tonight was Stargates. Like, what have you noticed with the Stargates, and like, where did you want to go with that?
So, I also do automatic writing, which is also how I wrote my last angel book. The last book was all automatic writing. So, what I got is Stargates, like of course, there's thousands and thousands of them. They said the most concentration of Stargates are in the Middle East. And I thought that was very interesting. But they said that a lot of those that have been open have been closed once the war started. So because they can't keep open during the wartime. So let me read to you. But a lot of those that were in the Middle East have moved to Russia because Russia has so much vast land and around the Ural Mountains, which has so much energy. And no one investigates the Ural Mountains. Everybody just leaves it alone. And I'm thinking, and they actually found, and I can't remember the name of it, but they found a possible crash site of a UFO also. Around the Ural Mountains. They found these little springs that are not of a metal of this world, and
That's
so they
interesting.
believe. Yeah. So I'm going to actually be doing a class. I'm going to do a little bit more studying. Oh, they're called nanostructures. They were nanostructures. They were found, and it's advanced technology. They found those around, some hikers found them around the Ural Mountains. But no one goes there and investigates. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's insane. That's interesting. Let me see here. Let's see what other question I have for you. Um, yeah. What about alien code? What is the alien code you were talking about?
So everything in our system is coded and sequenced, even us. And so we can't see, there's like grids everywhere. Obviously, you probably know all this. That everything has a sequence and everything's fine tuned. Um, like, let me use an example like spraying the skies that they're doing right now. Our atmosphere is coded and sequenced. And when we interact and do this, what these chemicals that we're spraying and cloud seeding, we're damaging those codes and sequences, and they're breaking up, and and I do believe there's archangels and other alien species that keep trying to, get everything back in sync, but we're doing a lot of damage to ourselves, and it's just to ourselves, because the codes and sequences are so tight and so aligned, and I mean they're just so tight and minute. Let me see. There's something else I wanted to talk about on that. Oh, and also the time as a mirror that I brought up is more for portals and segues. Um, have you ever looked in a mirror and you can see yourself forever in it? That's kind
No,
of, you have
that,
never. There's
not where
mirror.
I can see myself forever, but that's interesting.
Well, I
That's
mean, you
interesting.
see yourself and again and again and again and again and again, and
Yeah.
so that's what this the time mirror is. It's it's a really complicated thing to talk about time, because we think of time as such a simple means as a clock. Well, to the alien species, it's totally different. And so during a activation of a Stargate, it promotes a mirror effect, which is the transversement of many different time fragments, but also it mimics from one side to another. Everything is mirrored. Everything is in complete alignment and exactly the same all around it. So that's how time mirrors. Um, and time mirrors replicates codes on each side of the portal. Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting. Wow.
I know. I wish more people would look into this, because there's so many people that have sight and have downloads and work with aliens that I'm just touching the tip, because this is a new thing to me. But there's other people that could probably go a lot deeper than I can. So it'll be interesting if people could come forward and really go into time through how the aliens sequence time.
Well, how do you think they're sequencing? What do you think they're doing with time? Like, and do you think they're master manipulators of time?
I think,
Meaning,
well,
like
yeah.
time, like, and I have examples of that. Like when someone gets abducted, they have missing time, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then that's a good example of it. And then other examples where people feel like like the aliens can manipulate time around them, just like
Hmm.
like again, like from abduction experiences and stuff like that.
And they can move time forward and they can move time back. So, like when you do lose time and you come back, but you weren't really gone for very long, but you were with them for like 3 hours. And I've had lost time too, where I had a Sasquatch looking through my window, and I lost time because I just went blank. And I think it was a download. Um, I think their whole style is and grids are manipulating time and moving things to and from and constantly reprogramming codes. Time is a huge factor on when ships come in. You know how you see a ship come in and then it goes away and then then you see it again?
Yeah.
I feel like it's that is travasement of time. It's manipulating and going through time. It could have been in the mountain for 2 hours, and in our sight, we saw it go, gone, and then go again. So I know it's a very complicated thing to talk about, but I know there's people out there that are scientific that could probably explain this a lot better than I can. But I think that's who they are. I think that's everything to them is manipulation of time and codes.
Yeah. What about your book FEJB, The Daughter of Michael the Archangel? It says this short story spans multiple planetary systems. What inspired this narrative, and how does it expand on your nonfiction channelings?
Is it this one that you're talking about? The Lineage of Truth?
I don't. Sorry, maybe yeah, the one you were daughter about the daughter of Michael the Archangel.
Oh, Fejba.
Yeah,
that's the ebook. Yes, Fejba, and I do. This came through channeling of people. Fejba, up at the Blue Star, there is a Council of 12, and we are a race. The humans are a race. We are a new race, but we are a race, and we do have a commander that is up above us. And helping us in our existence. And I do believe that this commander has come down to Earth several times in different lives. And I do believe that they are benevolent and they are constantly trying to push the agenda forward, which is the good agenda, good against evil. So Commander Alon and his twin is Fejba. And so they were birthed as one soul that divided into two. And then they became two people, but they work as one, and
wow.
they've come down. And so I put that on there as a story, but actually it's a channeling of her beginning, of her birth with this commander, and how they worked together, how they were trained. And the Pleiadians were very important in their training, and they would go to each planet and learn different training from each planet to become evolved human race. But I feel, and I think all of us come down upon this earth because even though we may have training of being a soldier, a warrior, a legion angel, etc., there's something that we can master our bodies, we can master the fight, but something we need to learn to master is emotion. And we need to learn to master our emotions. And once I think that's why we keep coming back again and again and again, because we learn lessons and we're here to keep mastering and mastering and mastering. I think when we finally get it, then we don't have to come back here anymore. But I think this is a planet where we need to learn to master the mind and emotions, not the intelligence. I think emotions is really it can fool you. Emotions can just fool you. You need to learn to master yourself.
That's a good point. Yeah, self mastery. Yeah, I would agree. And then, like I was going to say, so you're someone active in the medical field. How do you integrate your professional life with like your intuitive life and psychic experiences?
I don't integrate them. Where I work for a plastic surgeon. I'm more of the office personnel. Some of the people know of the books I write, but I usually don't integrate it. Some people that are interested in what I do, I will talk a little bit about it. If they ask me questions of what I do, I will talk to them. It's kind of a tricky subject because you got medical field and then you got psychicness. And to be honest, I live in Idaho, and it's a high Mormon place. And I was raised Mormon, so I know everything about Mormons. So if people think of you as more of a voodoo, if they have a certain belief. And so I just keep it separate. So, yeah, I love working in the medical field. As long as I'm working to help people, I'm good with that. I have a really good job now, so I really appreciate it. So, but yeah, you can't tell people everything. It's nice to be a mystery.
You even wrote a book called Leaving Mormonism, right? Like,
I did.
That's cool.
I did, because I was indoctrinated in the Mormon church when I was 7, and then I left at 30. And so, I had to keep my working with dead people secret, because I didn't want people to find out about it, because I felt I'd be ostracized if people knew what I was doing on the side. So it was such a relief to leave that. It's such a controlled religion. It's so controlled. I mean, you have to obey A, B, and C so you can get the blessing of A, B, and C. And so I just felt like God is a loving God. And, even though you make mistakes, and if I want to drink coffee once in a while, I don't think God would get really mad at me for that,
Yeah, really, yeah.
So I just felt it was hard to break out of that, let me tell you. And so that book was me breaking free from the constraints of the religion. Mormon people are awesome. They're very good people. I just feel that they need to look at who they're following. And I channeled a little bit about Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon Church. I channeled some of his wives, and it was a very interesting conversation when I channeled his dad. And his dad said, "None of this is my fault." His dad kept saying, "This isn't my fault," and how Mormonism started. And it's not a God-based religion. It's a Joseph Smith-based religion, even though now they're professing it to be more Jesus. But let me tell you, when I was Mormon, there's no picture of Jesus anywhere. There's no cross anywhere. And I kept saying, "Where's Jesus? Where's Jesus?" In this, no one talked about Jesus. And so I'm a person that believes in Jesus, and I just wanted him in my life because he's a great energy, and he is a helpmate to the people. And so,
Wow, no, that's amazing. Yeah, and good on you for breaking away. I think that's good. I think more need to break away from religion. I really think that religion's an issue in our society. I really do. I think it's a big problem. Like all religions. I mean, like especially like the Abrahamic religion. Like the main three. It's like they cause so much war, and I don't know. I don't want to get political stuff because I don't want to make anybody upset in the audience or whatever, but I mean, yeah. So you've channeled over 40 benevolent species documented. Are there any trends or common themes that emerged across these beings and their messages?
Yes. Well, and this is book 2. So I wasn't done with book 1, so we added more. So I have more species here. So this is the power of the benevolent. So this is book 2 that goes with the benevolent, because I thought we have to stop at 400 pages. So then we got 200 more. So the theme is how they work together. The theme is there's no money exchange. The theme is just they coexist. They work together. Each species has a talent and ability and has something to offer at the table. They have something to put at the table. And so they all work together with all their talents and abilities and their intelligence. A lot of them are ancient species. Some are new species. And I think the human species is probably, I find, is a little bit more irritating to the higher intelligence species just because of our emotion. I found that a lot of species don't have emotion. They have intelligence. And so when you crack a joke, they they look at you because they don't understand, and here you are having a human saying something funny, and no one gets it. So, but
That's
they all work together for the common denominator.
yeah.
And
Well,
there was what I saw. There's no fighting. There's no one is better than the other. It was just really, it was such a great feeling to know that when we leave this planet, we can go and just have peace and just work together, that we don't have ego.
I agree. I agree. Wow, this is amazing. Was there anything else you wanted to share? Is there anything else we didn't cover that you kind of wanted to go over before we?
Yeah, I do. Can I share this too? This is a dream of mine, and I have oracle cards coming out.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll have you back on when they come out. When
yeah.
do they come out?
Well, we're still working on the book a little bit. This is a test, but it's of the Lyran race, and I've been using these in readings and readings for myself, and they are the most powerful cards I've ever had. So they're called Crystalline of Aquarius Oracle Deck by Robyn Hyatt. So I'm hoping to have them out in September. We're going to order about 500 decks, but they're coming from China. So China is the only one that we can order a lot from and keep the price down for everybody and have a beautiful deck. So that's coming out in September, I'm hoping. And then this just came out a week ago. This is
Wow.
Lineage of Truth. This is my Archangel guidance book. I woke up one morning with the title and I said, Michael, we got to write another book. And he says, okay. This book is actually beautifully made. I did the AI, and then I channeled each angel, and it's then they have messages for you. They have invocations for you to say. The reason I feel I was to do this is because we have to bring these archangels. We need to bring the power down to us. We have forgotten how to bring this power to us to help this world succeed. I believe our world is in a war and we need to win the war. And that's why we're here. And so everything that I am bringing to the table is to help us win the war. It is information that I'm coming to you with to advance you, to make you awake, to make you think, and to bring it down, the power down, so we can win what war is in front of us.
Yeah, and it's like a spiritual warfare, right? That's what it seems like. It's spiritual warfare.
It's good and evil. It will always be good and evil. It's going to be good and evil. It's we have some really bad entities, and how do you we humans can't fight them. They destroyed. We need to bring higher power down to us through meditation. And people think that it has to be where we really got to go out there and get it. No, you can do it in the quiet of your home, meditation, prayer, whatever you want to use to draw it down and bring the power to the world. Because you as a human have all the necessities. We have everything that we need. We just need to know how to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And do you do readings too? Do you do like readings? I was going to say you did a couple of readings.
Yep, I have readings on my Etsy store. I think I have 3 different kinds for if you want to ask a couple questions, you can do that. I also am doing readings with just these cards. That's one, and then I have one that's deeper, and I do my readings a bit different, where I will spend a week with your guide. My guide connects with your guide. And then all week, I actually write down everything that they're giving me. And then I bring it all together. And then I videotape it like this. And I give you all the information. And then I'm not someone that will just cut you off after I do a reading. If you have 10 questions after a reading, ask me. I will continue giving you as much information as I can after the reading until everything is clear. I'm here to elevate you, help you, and whatever I possess and I have, it is my calling to do this.
That's grim. That's amazing. Wow. Well, this has been amazing. It was really nice getting to know you, and I'm glad you
Yeah.
came on. And yeah. And do you have any final words before we finish up for the audience?
No, just I think just be the best person you can be. If you pass someone in need, help them. And we're here for each other. And so I do believe that the word judgment is man-made. It's not God-made. We should never judge another person. That is not necessary. We're here to work together and be a team and push the agenda forward. And thank you for the platform.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, this was awesome. I really enjoyed this, and yeah, and that's it for me for today, guys. I'm done. I did 4 interviews yesterday and 2 today. I'm pretty tired. I need a break.
Yeah, go sleep. Have a pizza.
I still got to do work. I got to work on the show and stuff, but and then I was supposed to have my Pittsburgh. I saw you have a Enlightened meetup. I'm a part of a Pittsburgh UFO group. I was supposed to go tomorrow, but then I got into an argument with one of the people in my group, so now I don't think I'm going. But I'll spend the day you catching up on work, I don't know. But yeah.
Actually, I stopped my meetup. It was too much, so I stopped it. But yeah. I have my Patreon channel where people come on and we do classes, and they're free.
Yeah. You didn't like the way your meetup was going, or what happened?
It was too much work. It was just too much work, I felt, and I didn't like the platform that well. And people had sometimes a hard time linking in to it. So I just went on Patreon and I announce it, and then I have Zoom. And so I just give everybody the Zoom link, like your StreamYard. And I said, just come on and we'll just do it from there.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was amazing. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, and thank you everybody, and thank you, Robyn, and when do you think we'll get? What do you think we'll get? The last question is, when do you think we'll get information on Skinwalker Ranch? What do you predict is next? If you had to make a prediction,
I actually think they know. They tested that piece of clay, and they've had metal that has come out of the ground. The metal is exactly what we have on our rockets. NASA has that metal. I do believe that's metal they've attained from alien UFOs that have down. The clay that they just unearthed will be in the next season, I think. And how they left it, if you watch the very last season, the very last tone that they said is there's something amazing with this piece of clay that they found. They actually have talked about time also, time altering. And so they're starting to figure out that they've actually been communicated with how things are showing up with their electronics and with their eye, that they don't mesh. But I think the aliens are telling them something. So they're figuring it out. I think the next season is going to be great because they're doing it right. They're doing it as scientists, not as adventurers.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I agree. That there has to be a science aspect to it, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to prove the paranormal, right? And it's hard to prove the paranormal because the paranormal is very elusive. You know what I mean?
Yes, but they're showing them something. That's what's amazing, is that they are showing them they are here through the electronics, like that, the things that are not seen with the normal eye, but they're seen by the electronics. So they're showing them something, but they're trying to show them in high intelligence, and we just have to get there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to tune in. Was it still on the History Channel? Because like I said, I saw it on Pluto TV, but it was it's on History, right?
Well, I don't watch TV. I just have a computer. So I watch it on Amazon. I buy the season, and there's 20 episodes, and I buy it on Amazon. So
I'm a Prime member, so maybe I can watch it on there. That's a good idea. I never thought of that. It's I try to stay away from TV too. Like I said, I put on Pluto TV sometimes because it's funny, because they have all kinds of crazy shit on there. But I don't have Netflix. I mean, I have Amazon Prime, but I never watch it. I listen to podcasts mostly. 90% of my entertainment is listening to podcasts
and YouTube. Yeah. We're for information. That's what we're learning about. I can't. Sometimes entertainment is good. We watched a really good movie last night, but yeah, you need to go eat.
Oh, I ate today.
Okay.
I had a good dinner. I'm just a little bit burnt out. You know, yesterday
Yeah,
was a long day. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'll admit it. I took on a little bit too much, but like, you
yeah.
know, and I wish that I was, you know, like I had I don't know if I told you this, but I had a channel with like 20,000 subscribers, and it
Wow,
got new, it got taken down. Yeah, it got, yeah,
wow.
I had a pretty big channel, and they messed with me pretty bad, and
Where was that? YouTube?
on the new channel I have almost 4,000, but I have almost 5,000 on Rumble. But like they won't YouTube won't monetize me. They keep saying that
They
my
won't.
content's dangerous. It's
Oh,
crazy. It doesn't
yeah,
make sense. But they do monetize some of these mainstream UFO channels
yeah,
and stuff. It's
yeah.
like it doesn't make sense, you know. Like it's like
No,
I don't
I
know.
can. I've been on YouTube for about 7 years. I can't get monetized, and I will go up in subscriber count, and then like in 2 weeks later, I'm back down. They just start taking stuff away, and I go, "How do you do that?" I mean, I get stuff taken away all the time, so I just it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, you'll build up again. Your show's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that you, because I'm sure I said, you know, I said at the beginning of the show I wasn't, you know, I didn't know of your work before I met you on Facebook. I'm sure you didn't know about my show either, so it
I
was
did.
kind of cool. So now you know about my show, and I know about
Yeah,
your work, and I'm gonna order
yeah,
something from your Etsy store, and like,
yeah.
you know, I've had it up on the screen this whole time. I didn't realize it. So guys, yeah, this is her Etsy store. You know, go to Robyn's Etsy store and buy something and support her. You know, so you know, like
Yeah.
yeah,
And
and she has some.
Amazon.com.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank
Thank
you.
you
And
for
yeah, I guess we'll end it now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow and have a good night, everybody. And thanks,
Thank
Robyn.
you. Yep.